Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to this thing that I do here. I thought today it'd be kind of fun to show you my plants and show you how they're doing. They are doing very well and they make me very happy. So let's see what I've got going on. Check it out. So this is everybody. Very healthy, very wonderful. I'm very happy. I experimented this year with different kinds of fertilizer, not different kinds, but different amounts, just to see what would happen. And so as soon as my neighbor walks away, we'll get down to every individual plant. First up, I've got the ALMA paprika. This is a classic heirloom. A lot of people know this one, but I'm getting some really good growth. They ripen to red. They're a nice sweet pepper. I like growing sweet peppers for my wife and for myself, but yes. So this is my ALMA paprika. Next up, I have something called the yellow sparkler. This is another sweet one that I picked up specifically for my wife. She tried one green. It's doing just, she said it's just delicious. I got a isolation bag in here. Never mind. I like to isolate individual flowers, but this is the yellow sparkler. Next up, I've got the mystery plant that I talked about in a couple videos ago. It is a sweet annum. It's really good. They develop a nice red color. The leaves aren't looking too good right now, but it'll fix itself. That's what I tend to think. I don't know what this is. I think it could be an Italian sweet that I got hold of from a gentleman whose grandma brought the pepper over in the 20s and has grown it in her garden for 60 years, and then he took it over. But yes, this is my mystery. Next up, I've got the Chile Grande, not to be confused with the Santa Fe Grande. This is something just called the Chile Grande. It's an annum that yields jalapeno looking pods with a cayenne level heat. I've been growing this every year since 2014. I love it. I love this one. It's delicious. It's hot. It's just loaded this year too. I'm really excited. This is, yes, the Chile Grande. And in case you're wondering, wedding rice bags are great for isolating singular flowers. Then you tie a little string around the flower and you have an isolated pod, which gives you true seeds. Next up, I've got a beautiful Chinense that was sold to me as Scotch bonnet. My problem with Scotch bonnet is the history of it. You know what? I'm gonna make a video on what is a Scotch bonnet because there's a lot of confusion with its history and what it is. I mean, it's named after a hat, but then you get pods that don't look like a hat, but then you have people growing Chinense that look like a hat, and then you see old videos of Jamaican cooks with their Scotch bonnets and they don't look like a hat. So, but this is a beautiful plant. The yield is getting crazy. I mean, there's flowers everywhere. It's just doing great. Here we've got the, sold to me as a Thai dragon, but I just consider it a Thai type. You could just see this is absolutely insanity. It's a beautiful annuum, yields erect pods that have that classic sharp Thai bite, that insane pop right away that dissipates quickly. It's just wonderful. I think these are so beautiful. I actually have a clone of a plant that I had of this last year that we'll get to in a second, but yeah, I got a Thai type here that's just positive madness. Here I've got one called the LUNCHBOX Red. These are just beautiful small little pods that are sweet. They call it lunchbox. They fit in kids' lunchboxes as a snacker. You might recognize these from the stores. They'll sell them in little packs called, I believe it's pronounced poivons, which is just the French word for pepper. It's not a specific strain. And they'll come in packs of yellow, red, and orange, and they're just sugary sweet and wonderful. This plant is giving me just madness. So I am happy, and my wife will be happy. She loves these. Here I've got something that was sold to me as the Super Chili. The picture of it was a gigantic red annum, but the Super Chili is a hybrid that's more frutescence and Thai type. But as you look at the plant, it's very clearly a frutescence with its fruit growing up like that, or flowers, and then just the way that this looks just like that. It's hard, you just get an eye for species stuff, and my species video, I explained this pretty well, but this is a gigantic plant. We're talking like over 3.5 feet. It's gonna yield me some nice frutescence pods, which to me are all very similar, initially pungent and then dissipating quickly. I'm really excited. I've got little clusters everywhere, so I am very happy with, even though I bought it because it was a gigantic red thing that I didn't know what it was, I'm very happy with where it is. Here I've got red habanero, or sold to me as red habanero. It you know, it's another Chinense with remarkable yield, pods everywhere, gonna burn the crap out of me. Here I've got some kind of SUPERHOT, I'm not sure what kind, red and super. I don't know why I grow SUPERHOTs, to be honest with you. I don't eat them, I don't use them enough. I think I do it just to mess with my coworkers. Considering it's late July and I'm just getting flowers now, I don't have a lot of hope for this guy anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but random SUPERHOT. Here I've got the New Mex CANONCITO, which became a staple in my garden last year. It's a landrace from New Mexico. It is phenomenal. The growth habit is just so strange and literally all over, but medium heat pods with a nice tart sweetness. I don't know, I love this thing. I will grow it every year. Not the easiest pepper to find. Well, I mean, thanks to the internet, everything's easy, but still delicious. Here I've got the Suriname yellow, or Suriname yellow, also popularly known as the Madame Jeanette. Bright yellow Chinense habanero heat, very lemony flavor, phenomenal heirloom, basically from Caribbean area. Just, I mean, this thing is loaded. Even if I just stopped producing right now, I'd be very happy. I'm excited. Got one isolated too. Very excited for this. Just loaded and also gorgeous. I'm gonna do these two at the same time. This one is called the PRIMERO habanero. It's a supposedly like 70 to 80,000 Scoville level red habanero, kind of medium for habanero. So I thought I'd give it a whirl. And also from Chef Jeff, he released something called, I don't remember what it's called. He might have even billed it as the PRIMERO, but it's also a medium heat red habanero, just loaded. So I guess in a way these are the same thing. You can see these pods are a little pointier, but essentially what I've got here is two of the same plant, and they're both going nuts. So who knows what these are gonna do. Here I've got the Weary. This is a very unique frutescens that grows pod shapes that are not like any other frutescens. This thing is just loaded everywhere. If you're curious why they're purple on top and green on the bottom, I will do a Your Pepper Questions Answered video about it. It's easy to answer, but super fun to talk about. But yeah, this is a Weary and it is going nuts. Here I've got one that was sold as Long Red Hot, so that's more descriptive than some kind of name. Although, you know, chili nomenclature around the world is pretty simple. Chile ancho just translates to wide. I think sometimes it's only people in the States and these modern day pepper folk that need like specific names like Death's Eyeball and all this other stuff. But this is a Long Red Hot. It's obviously a finger type, you know, slightly fingers and cayennes are got some similarities to them. It's a nice annuum. Tried one unripe. It's not too shabby, but I'm excited for the red. I prefer all my peppers ripe. Here I've got the Guyanese bird. Guyanese. I haven't checked out how to pronounce that correctly because I'm a jerk. This is a classic frutescens. It's got that upward fruit. It's got that feel to the leaves. It's, I think, is just at least the ones I've grown. But yeah, this is the Guyanese bird. This is just vigorous and having fun. I'm really excited to taste this. Again, frutescens are very similar to me, but I just like knowing I'm going to be tasting some history. This is a candy cane pepper. It's got the most beautiful variegation. Not the most, but it's just sublimely gorgeous. Look at that thing. I bought this arbitrarily on a half off sale, and my wife had this great pot, so I just kind of have a decorative sort of thing. No heat, tasty, beautiful. Candy cane. This is something I'm keeping in a small plant so it gets root bound and gives me fruit really fast, because the tag says Fatali, but it shows a red Fatali. Fatalis grow yellow. It's an African Chinense that is incredibly powerful. So if this grows red, I would love to see that. I've never grown a red one. Got a couple flowers up top, so we'll see. This is another small one I kept in a smaller pot so it get root bound and just give me fruit. It's called the Snackabelle, which I've never grown, but it's like little small sweet pods, flowers everywhere. The growth habit's weird. These are gonna grow funny, but it was a buy one get one free, so I figured what the hell. And lastly, this is that clone of the plant that was just like the Thai I showed you. I cloned this in rock wool off the tip of a buddy, and while this is really small, look at that craziness. But yes, this is the last of what I have this year. Not a very big year, but I'm really happy. So yeah, there you have it. That's my grow this year. Only 18 plants. I think it was 18. Whatever, doesn't matter. Some of my old-time viewers remember my grows from like 2017 when I had like 140. When I get the space, I'll be going crazy again. But I just wanted to take a minute and show you how I'm doing so far. I hope all your grows are going well, and I hope all you spicy folk are staying spicy. On that note, be well, inspire to perspire, and have a lovely however long it is until I see you next. Take it easy.
Oh my god, what a dork.